Right, that's recording. Hello, guys. Apologies first of all for the quality of this webcam recording. I've got one of these newfangled iPhone 11 or 12, whatever it is, new iPhones, and I've been trying to record this video on that. The video is great, but it doesn't import into my computer and allow me to edit it. I've no idea what's going on, but yeah, this new iPhone, great, but it doesn't import into the Apple computer. So anyway, apologies about the video quality. What I'm doing here is I want to keep things brief. I want to explain to you the story of the KMCS, the Kicking Mustang Concealment System, and my relationship with Skirmshop. They've put a post up on their Facebook page in response to an email that I sent them. They did that publicly. They didn't reply to my email, but we'll get to that. I want to try and keep this brief, and I want to explain to you guys because there's obviously a lot of stuff flying around about this. I want to explain to you guys the reason the relationship fell apart, and yeah, I'll keep it as brief as I can. And let's start from the beginning, shall we? So I first met Barry, who owns Skirmshop at a Milsim in France, and this was 2017. We pretty quickly found out we shared quite a lot in common, and we became close friends. We shared a lot over the course of 2017 and 2018. I did a lot for Skirmshop. I helped them out connecting with influencers and just general promotion of their products and help them grow their shop. I didn't ask for anything in return. I was just helping them out as a friend. I didn't ask for anything in return. Towards the end of 2017, or it might have been at the start of 2018, Skirmshop had a contact at the BLS BB factory in the Far East, and they were about to bring out the BLS factory about to bring out their 0.48 gram heavy BBs, and Barry offered the BBs to me as a brand. I'd put my name on them and I'd promote them, and in exchange for that, I would receive a couple of euros for each bottle of BBs sold. At the time, he was a little bit worried about bringing out a BB brand with Skirmshop's name in it, because if you had a bad batch of BBs, people would then associate Skirmshop with a poor product. So I tested out a whole bunch of BBs. Skirmshop brought out the hot shots for the lighter weight, and I put my name on the heavy 48. So I got the test products, tested various polishes and finishes. I chose what was, I thought, the best finish, and put my brand on it, and we went for it. And they sold. They're still the same BBs that are sold today. Now, in the later that year, autumn of 2018, I was speaking to my friend Yanni from Finland, and he's also known as ghillie on Instagram. He's one of the original. He's a really skilled ghillie crafter, and we've shared a lot of knowledge together. And I personally learned a lot from him. And he's a great follow. That's ghillie on Instagram. We were discussing our ideas for what we wanted in a leaf suit and the features that we were adding to our suits that we would love to have on out of the box suit. And now Yanni introduced me to a Russian tailor that he'd been speaking to, and I spoke to the tailor, and it was at this point that the Kicking Mustang Concealment System was born.
That had this, and that's when Yanni was chatting to a tailor, and Yanni introduced me to the tailor, and that's when KMCS was born. So if it wasn't for Yanni, KMCS may not have been born, or at least it wouldn't have been born at the time it was. So yeah, thank you very much, Yanni, for inspiring and having an input into it.
I worked with this tailor, drew up designs. I had a prototype made, and I tested it out in the field, and it was great. I went ahead and we decided to stop producing them. I sent money over to Russia. The tailor produced the first batch of KMCS 1.0 and started selling it on my website. Now, sales were absolutely flying. Sales were like the first batch of 100 sold out in minutes, like 3 or 4 minutes, and then I was selling them faster than the tailor could produce them at this point. After about the third batch, there was a few weeks where they were not in stock, and it was around this time that some unbranded KMCS suits appeared at a shop called Grey Shop. It's a Russian, very large Russian military surplus store. And to say I wasn't happy about this, yeah, I was. This is it was a bit of a shock to see them on there because it was my design, and yeah, they were unbranded. And I spoke to, and at the time there was a bit of a gotcha moment, you know. It's kind of a there was a lot of accusations that I was rebranding a suit that had already been made, and I was just putting a markup on it and selling it, which wasn't true. My suits had appeared on Grey Shop. They were there, but they were only there for a day or two, um, because I spoke to the tailor, and the tailor apologised, and it was within hours of speaking to the tailor, the suits were gone from Grey Shop. I also had some QC issues at the same time in the batch that I sold before the Grey Shop issue. There were some suits had been returned. There was some faulty tailoring. Some of the cuffs weren't right, and there was some problems with some stitching. It was almost like they'd been rushed out. And what this meant was I was feeling a little bit uneasy about my relationship with the tailor. And I was speaking to my friends at Skirmshop about it. I was speaking to Barry and even Cleanshot, he works in the warehouse there, and I was speaking to Cleanshot about it and Barry and expressing my concerns. So Barry at this point introduced me to a tailor that he knew in Russia, and so I got speaking to him, and the tailor knew what I was doing already. He had seen what I was doing, and he knew who my tailor was, who I used. They'd had some associations in the past. So I shared my design with him. He made a prototype, and he sent it back to me. The prototype was an improvement on what I had. The stitching was better. The fit was better. It was just a better tailored suit, and also the base mesh was a higher quality, and it was a all round a superior suit. And I think um, what I would like to what I think is important to note here is that this tailor is not a sort of strange old man who lives on an island without the internet and he's impossible to find. He this guy owns a well-known supplier and manufacturer of military spec equipment in Russia. I guess it's probably the equivalent of something. Let's say if you're in the UK, it might be the equivalent of a company, say, such as Arctis, who are well known for making. They're like former military people, and they make webbing, clothing, jackets, etc. It's that sort of company. So the point I'm making is he's not hard to find, and I would have discovered him through conversations or even just a Google search. If you Google the right Google search, you could find him. Now, at this point, I had a decision to make. I was selling suits really quickly, quicker than I could probably handle it myself. It was becoming it was sort of detrimental to my content production. So I had to make a decision. I was either going to employ somebody to help me out with the sales and the emails and the questions, etc., or I would need to team up with a shop. I agreed. I had a discussion with Skirmshop about this. I spoke with Barry, and I agreed that we'd team up and work on it. And you know, why not? We were friends. I've been helping them for some time. I trusted them, and the discussion was had, and we agreed on splitting the profit. And it was either going to be a 50-50 profit split if Skirmshop financed it, or a 70-30 profit split to me if I financed it. I was very sanguine about the decision. I didn't mind either way, and I let Skirmshop decide. They chose to finance it, and it was decided a 50-50 profit split, and we pushed on. Now, things were going really well. For several months, the suits were selling quick. The quality of the suits was great. Everyone was happy with them. But there were some little warning bells, which I kind of ignored for a while. I mean, we were friends. I thought, you know, it was busy, and you know, I let it go for a while. But there were some warning bells. Record keeping was poor. So a couple of times I had to chase them for money. I was not being, and when I say chase, I let things go. But after like I wasn't chasing them like every week. It was a case of I hadn't received any money for a couple of months, so I'd say, "Hey, what's going on with the money?" And eventually, I would get it. But the record keeping was really poor, and I wasn't told the exact quantities that were being ordered. There was like new stock arriving, and I was like, "What's been ordered? What did we receive?" And it was all very vague. It was always very vague replies. And I was asking in WhatsApp, and I didn't really get any. I wasn't ever CC'd into emails about what was being ordered. And I also asked for costings, like what were the costings, and I was never told this. Now, towards the end of 2020, end of summer 2020, I think it was, Skirmshop attempted to get me. They sent me an email with a contract in it, which altered our deal, and it was no longer 50-50. They wanted me to sign a contract that was closer to something that was more like 70 or even 80% profit to them. Uh, so yeah, it was things were starting to go a bit south at this stage, and I was not aware of it at the time. But Skirmshop had secret at this point. Skirmshop had secretly gone to the tailor and had made KMCS copies of my design in a different color. And when I refused to sign this contract, Skirmshop showed me their new Stalker branded suit, and I was not impressed. And I told them I was not happy with what they'd done. So we pushed on. Um, I told them I'm not signing this contract, but I agreed to settle, draw a line under everything. I think this was September, might be in August. I can pull the WhatsApp messages up. So then I carried on pressing them for details about what orders were being made and requests for packing slips, and I did not sign this new contract that they wanted me to sign up to. And I agreed with Barry at the time that I would settle. I agreed that I would settle the spreadsheet that he had sent me and to draw a line under it all, and then we would revert back to 50-50, and we would have to keep better record keeping. Just to like, okay, maybe it was a mistake. Maybe there was some admin errors. Maybe there was maybe it wasn't intentional, but let's just draw a line under it. I accepted his spreadsheet that he sent me, and he paid me to draw a line under it. And we agreed to go forward a 50-50 profit split, and he would show me the costings. He would show me what was ordered and what came. But as we moved forward, that didn't happen. I pressed them as the new orders came in and new suits arrived. I pressed him for what orders were being made, and I was now asking to see the packing slips of the orders as they arrived. And I was told, and this is where it all fell apart quite quickly. This was a couple of months ago. I was told very clearly it was none of my business to know the quantities of the suits being ordered or the amounts that were being sold. Disappointing moment, shall we say. As an aside, at this point as well, throughout 2020, I've not received any profit for BB sales for over a year. So at this point now, I sent Barry this email here, which was, I think this is going to bring an end to our relationship email, and this will be our final invoice. Barry replied back that he didn't understand why I was leaving. So then I send him this email here. And what I'll do, I'll also attach these emails in the comment section so you guys can easily read them. And I never got a reply for this email at all. The invoice that I attached to the email has only partially been paid, and like 50% paid. And I never received a reply. The next thing I know, they've posted on their Facebook page, and they have gone live on Instagram. What's really important here as well is this invoice that I attached to the email is based on their figures and their profit percentages. It's not the 50-50 profit split as per our agreement. For example, here's the Cobra hoods, and you can see here it's nowhere near 50-50. And also note at the bottom of their spreadsheet, there's this arbitrary minus 20% off everything for promotion. Yeah, that's just arbitrary, just numbers being plucked out of thin air, and they're just taking profit. So you can now see the final 2 emails I sent to Skirmshop, which are pretty self-explanatory, I think. I've still not received that reply, and yeah, Skirmshop made the public post, which is what has forced me to go public, really. And after I've finished speaking to you guys now, I'm gonna leave you with Skirmshop's live stream that they did, and I think it explains the situation pretty well. I'm going to leave it unedited from start to finish, and I don't think they did themselves any favour. So yeah, I hope you enjoy that video, because I think it's worth a watch. I just want to say as well, for some reason, I don't feel angry. I'm really not angry. I just feel a bit disappointed that the people who I consider to be friends acted this way. It's really poorly intentioned what they did. Like, even given the benefit of the doubt, it's really poorly intentioned is the best way I can think of their actions. And the reason I'm making this video is, one, because they went public on their page, and secondly, I want to warn anybody who may be thinking about working with them to be really careful about trusting them. I can't see any excuses for the way they've acted in the last 6 months. And by not replying to my last email and going straight to a public post, and in this public post, you can see that they brass-faced said that they're just going to be relabeling my products with Stalker and selling them exactly as they are now, my designs. I don't really have any more words than disappointed. Yeah, it's a sad situation. It's a real shame it's come to this. Now, before I go, I want to say, before I go and leave you with the Stalker Skirmshop live stream, which I think you'll probably find interesting. I want to thank you all for the support you've given me through this, guys. The messages I've been receiving, and the DMs, and just the comments, and you guys reaching out to me, it's really humbling. And the Sniper Ops community and the KMCS fanatics, you guys are awesome, and I appreciate your support over this, guys. It does mean a lot. Now, moving forward, what's going to be happening with the KMCS? Well, I'm moving on. I'm doing version 3.0, which is going to be available exclusively on my website, and it's going to have it's a really cool suit. It's going to have all the same features of the version 2.0 that we all love, but it's also going to have a new hood design, which is the same as on the Cobra hoods. So it's got the wire rim, it's got a better fit, and that hood has been so comfortable to wear. It molds to your head perfectly, molds around your face. It's a great hood design, and everyone's been really happy with that. So we're going to integrate that into the KMCS full suit. It's also going to have the webbing of the Cobra hood. It's going to be on your hood, down your arms, also down your back and the back of the legs. Now, what this is going to do is going to allow you to much more quickly craft, add material, tie things to your suit, as well as being able to add more natural veg and more easily to your suit. So this is a really exciting upgrade to the KMCS system. I'm super excited to get this out to you guys. I think it's worth waiting for. If you're thinking about buying the suits, it's perhaps worth waiting a few weeks for this one to come out. So the tailors started working on this. I think we're gonna hopefully get it out in a few weeks. So I'm looking forward to 2021. I'm looking forward to getting back to airsoft once this lockdown in the UK finishes. And yeah, thanks guys, I appreciate you all, and apologies for this video quality. Why iPhone makes a phone that does not integrate with Apple computers and Apple editing software, I don't know, but I'm sure the quality's not too bad. Guys, thanks very much for watching, and yeah, enjoy the Stalker live stream coming up now.
Hey, there he is. Hello.
There is Mr. West. Hey guys.
Hey.
Yeah, that's a bit of an earthquake, right?
I didn't get that.
I said that's a bit of an earthquake, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
sure is. It's
so basically, most of the time in Skirmshop, I'm in the warehouse, I'm doing stuff like packing packages, packing products, like all the basic stuff I'm still doing in Skirmshop. It's not like I'm a boss or something. I just feel I'm working at Skirmshop. The thing is, my brother is more upstairs in the office and doing all the paperwork and stuff like that. And he's also the contact for all dealers and people that want to sell stuff through Skirmshop, because that's one thing that Skirmshop is famous of. That's because so many people that do some cool stuff, they can sell it at Skirmshop most of the time. Back in the early days, it made us unique. We were always looking for new parts, new gear, and whatever. So my side of the story is most of the time I'm working in the warehouse, so I don't hear a lot of what my brother does or whatever. I just get a note at the end of the week. This is what I've done, and he get a note from me. This is what I have done. So, but like for a lot of time, he is busy with crafting gear, new ghillie suits, new gear. It's just amazing. This guy is just has put so much energy in all these suits, and he's working with the tailor, and it's just a sad story that this happened, you know. And the thing is, when you start small, you have friends, and just like, for example, gunsmithy, the TDC kit, I helped him a lot with that, and it's manufactured in my factory as well. I took care of it, that it could be done by a machine, because he had a 3D print, and the machine couldn't make all the square parts. So yeah, I've done the last drawing on the gunsmithy TDC kit, and then I've sent it to my factory, and I've paid for all the sample costs and stuff like that. But that's okay for me. It's my friend, and I will do it for him. And the thing is, we stick so much time and effort in making new stuff, making new products for the airsoft community, that we hardly have time to do something else ourselves. So that makes it double sad that this happened. And all the fingers are pointed our way, but the question is, who did leave for this deal, you know? Is it us, or is it the other party? That's the question. Everyone is pointing, but that's the question. The thing is, I know my brother has been busy with his suits and products for a long time, and yeah, he's in close contact with the tailor, and all shipments are just going to us from the start. So, for example, I show you this strip that's not on the market yet, but it's made by my brother, and it's brown ghillie material, and it has a brown leaf and a green leaf to see what's the difference. So if you don't be in close contact with the supplier or tailor, you cannot do this.
Okay.
You know?
Wesley?
So this is a rifle wrap. Sorry, this is a rifle wrap, and probably it will come out soon. For example, these are the guiders for your boots. You can pull it over your boots, and you have a metal clip inside here. Yeah, it's for your shoe, for your ties, and stuff like this. And this button, every little detail that's made by Barry. So it makes it double sad that people just say it's a copy or something, because I know this guy has put a lot of effort in all this stuff. And yeah,
Okay, but
that's about it.
yeah, to just
Yeah,
okay.
the one little thing. The suit already existed. Some YouTuber in Russia already used it. It was a base suit, and from that suit, yeah.
Yeah, I guess the
From
main
that suit,
problem is that many people, the most people, did not know that this suit already exists. Like
yeah, indeed.
with that pattern and with that leaves, because we all saw it at the first time. I think 2019 in January, when Kicking Mustang said, "Hey, I'm using this new suit. I will try it out, and it has several good features." And I think a month later or so, he is selling his new suit under the label of Kicking Mustang, and that's totally fine. No one ever thought of that. He just rebranded something that already existed and buffed it a bit. So we all see that these straps around your thumb, that these are boosted. They usually were black, and I think they could rip. And on the KMCS that I have, they are really strong. They are really good material. And
Yeah, but those little things are details, you know.
yeah, I know.
And sometimes people don't see it, but sometimes just a little part or something has so much detail. I remember I was sitting behind my PC at night drawing stuff, just like a hop-up arm or something, and I spent so many hours to get the right shape. And it doesn't matter if people don't notice. It doesn't matter for me. But the only thing that matters for me is that a good product enters the airsoft market and people can play with it. And then I go home and I think, yes, the goal is finished, you know?
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, but that this earthquake happened now, if some guy ran around and told me that in 2 weeks or in 3 weeks or in several months there will be a same ghillie suit like the KMCS, but it's not named KMCS, I would have told him, well, nice try. I would not do that, because that would in fact result in an earthquake.
Yeah, but if you roll back and you know for yourself that you stick so much time and effort in all of these suits from the start, because let's rewind. One day there was a customer from Russia. He was ordering a lot of stuff from us, and he said, "Hey, I need to go to Amsterdam for my work. Can I come to Skirmshop?" I said, "Of course, no problem, man. Come over and stay a bit, and maybe we can eat something together if you like it." He said, "Yeah, it's fine for me. I have time." So we went to the Pizza Hut in my little town, and we were just talking, and he said, I want to show you something. This is my ghillie suit." And he came with the brown base suit, and he showed it me on the photo, and he said, "You need to make your own Skirmshop ghillie suit." And I said, "That will be fantastic." And then he said, "Yeah, my friend is making it in Russia, so I can make the contact for you." And it was okay for me. And I said, "Okay, give him my email and I will hear from him soon." Then the guy emailed in Russian English. So my friend Pavel still was the translator. And then at the end, I told the tailor, which we are working with now, still, send me over 2 suits for me and my brother. And I still have the screenshot, but I will not go into the war and I will not post it, because I don't mind, because I know from my heart that I stick so much energy in these products from the start. And I think that we can just keep on doing what we're doing, making the best stuff for the airsofter.
Yeah,
So,
but you have to admit that people who do not know that, and I think that's the most part of our community, do not know what it takes to run a company like yours, and most of the people do not know how products are manufactured. So the most people are spreading hate towards you, I guess, because they think you you backstabbed Kicking Mustang, and I think.
but yeah, that's because I'm no YouTuber, and I'm not an Instagrammer,
Yeah.
and I cannot paste anything on the internet because I work with so much dealers and airsoft wholesalers. I cannot post anything, so it remains silence at the site of Skirmshop. And even if I could post it, I don't need to defend myself, I think. So
you're just a retailer. Of course, you do not have to defend yourself, because
no. I mean, if you don't have something to hide, you don't have to defend yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not the one that have to defend myself. I'm just doing my job. I think I'm doing it pretty okay. And when I go home, I think, yes, my goal is finished. And if it's not finished, I go on the next day. And the thing is, I know for sure that we, from the start, from day one, we bought all these suits, from green till brown till whatever rainbow color there is.
Okay.
And it's pretty much our life work as well. So I don't think I need to defend myself, because I'm just doing what I always do and still do, just importing ghillie suits, and also take part of the designs, at least my brother, because I don't design a lot in these ghillie suits because I'm more of a technical guy, and I like to make some parts.
Yeah, and the parts are the go-to parts for now, I guess. I only hear good stuff about them. My whole SRS is a Stalker SRS, so it shoots like a laser, and everyone is hyping your work for the parts.
Yeah, I think, yeah, at some point a product needs some attention, and all the Instagram and Facebook stuff, it's really good. But I think if you release a product and some people buy it and they make the review that it's good, then it's good, and then my job is finished.
Yeah.
So I feel really good, you know, if I need to pack an order, because it's not like I'm sitting on my ass the whole day in the office or something. The running Skirmshop is really hard time, and sometimes I think why I'm doing it, you know. If I just work at the boss or something and just get some money, I'm okay with that. But there's so much, sometimes there's so much toxic around the community, and I don't know why, because there are so many good parts, so many good rifles, and so many good brands and people that make awesome stuff. And if there's competition, don't care, you know.
I think you should.
The world is big enough.
Yeah, but I think you should care about competition, because that's the thing that keeps everything running, I guess. Because that's what I told Solotron just now. I think for us as an end consumer.
Yeah, that's important, of course, because if there's no competition, then there will nothing released. You know, there will be no new parts if there's no competition. So at one point, that's good.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I don't look at others. I just do my own thing, and then I'm for sure that that's the right direction. You know, I'm just doing my thing, and then if it works, it works. But if it let's say it's like this. I just start making something, and when I start, I already know it's working or not. If it's not working, I don't do it or something, or I do it for a half but don't release it. And that's why the Kraken, for example, it took like 2 years or something. I don't know. It was a lot of time and a lot of testing. And I was sitting here behind there. There's a little room. I was sitting there, and then I tested it with the wheel and stuff like that, with different O-ring and some grease, and then back to my computer, changed the dimension, and sometimes I was watching my watch, and it was like, you need to go home, bro, because it's 2 o'clock in the night. And that's maybe, I think, what people don't know or forget or whatever, but it doesn't matter for me. But sometimes it's nice to say or let people know, you know, that it's not really easy, just like, oh, I buy that part and I sell it. It's really hard to make something good.
Coming back to the topic about the KMCS relabeling,
Oh yeah.
Don't you think it would be, or would have been wiser to do that in a public way, so that people could so that it's not an earthquake, you know? It will divide the community anyhow, I think. But the thing is that it happened so quick, people could not react in a proper way, I guess.
Yeah.
And you said that your brother is running the company at the computers and at the phone.
Most of the time, yeah.
Yeah, most of the
on the
time.
phone or in office or talking to dealers or
People like me could get that in the wrong throat. You said that you had no idea that would happen, and that
what
what
did you say?
When you started to tell us how Skirmshop is run, so that you are in packing and you do new stuff with your pistons and with your Kraken and stuff. You said that your brother does the deals, and that's okay, because everyone has one of these guys. But it seems that he didn't talk to you about that.
He didn't talk about that? No, because you cannot talk about that if you have a company and you work with so many dealers, so many airsoft brands. You cannot post anything on the internet. It will make you look bad. So it remains silence. Skirmshop, we can only post a statement. This is how it is.
Yeah.
And of course it's like a rocket that's coming down.
Okay.
And causes an earthquake, but you know, it's how it is.
I know your brother has some physical illness. So I
no,
guess
that's not true. But he was no, that's not true. But he had something. He had something in his stomach a few weeks ago. So
okay. So
he was a little sick.
I guess it would be better to talk with him about that, because it is called Stalker, and you are the guy behind Stalker, but he is the guy that's behind the whole Skirmshop labeling, I guess. So
yeah, basically I'm behind Stalker, but I'm also behind Skirmshop.
Yeah.
Skirmshop is my life work.
Okay.
From the start, if you know how we started, I can tell you how we started. We started Skirmshop just in a closet with 4 shelves. And when we sold some stuff,
is this mic gone now? Wesley, your microphone is gone, I guess.
Yo, hey.
Ah, yes.
I'm back.
Okay. Nice. Okay, better.
when we started Skirmshop, we started with 4 shelves, and then we didn't even had a web shop. We only had Facebook, and we were helping people with some parts.
Okay.
And it was so funny. But at the end of time, when we sold some stuff, we bought some new stuff, and that's how it's always been. We bought some stuff, and still is. We're not some guys that are looking for money or something. We just sell some stuff, we buy stuff, and we make new parts. That's our hobby in the airsoft scene, and of course playing airsoft. But for us, it's more the hobby, making new stuff, and look at all the airsofters being happy all the time.
Yeah, but do you think it was wise to kick Kicking Mustang out of this business?
Who said we did it?
That's
the question.
Okay, because it came so quick.
We only said that what was in the statement. That's it. That's what we said. But it didn't state that we kicked someone. Right?
No, you didn't tell us that you kicked someone.
So
no.
That's the question. But that will always be the question, maybe. So who did what?
Could you answer that question? Because many people would.
No, I can't, because it's not my department. You know, I know that my brother is working really hard, and he has a lot of energy and effort in all this ghillie suit stuff and all products we sell. And that's the only thing I can say, and that I know straight from my heart. Because if it was not true, then this was nothing. This wouldn't be made by the tailor. You see. So if my brother didn't work with the tailor a lot, this stuff wasn't made. So that's all I can say.
Okay. Yeah, good.
And I think we just should let it rest, and do whatever we like, or do whatever we want to do, or maybe the YouTube guy makes a new shoot. It's okay for me. I don't mind. You see? So if he is making KMCS 3.0, it's okay for me.
Yeah, it should be, because everyone can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
but,
of course. Yeah.
Okay.
But I will just keep on doing, or we just keep on doing what we're doing. So making suits and making everything, all the products. But because if I don't do it, then I feel sad. I just need to go on with making stuff, and then my work is complete. Whether it's a ghillie suit or a booty or whatever. So for me it's okay, and yeah, sometimes it's hard to face something, but you also learn something.
Yeah. What I think
from this
what
kind
I
of
think
things.
is that the people do not know more now that you talked than without talking. That's the problem. I think.
Yeah. I know.
People,
but it's
the people expect.
If you don't know,
something.
Look, I already yesterday I was sitting at my computer. I got a headache from it. I was sitting at my computer reading all the messages, but I didn't respond. Maybe on some, but it was okay for me. Just reading what people had to say. You also learn from that, from just reading what people say. And if you read the statement of Skirmshop and you read it again and again, then you know what it is. You know the answer. So if you have questions, go back to the statement. The answer is there.
Okay. So
but But what I noticed was that some people don't read. They just read it fast and then they go and reply. But if you read it really slow, then you find all answers there.
Okay. I just thought to make this live session to get people to not spread hate, because if you get a face to talk to,
Yeah,
people
that's
might
why
act in a different way.
you just said it's sad that we don't see so much faces and we don't know the guys behind the Instagram page. So that's why I told you, hey, invite me, because it was jumping on your live. I didn't know you were going live or something, and I need to go because I need to get some dinner, of course. But I was just jumping in, and it's also good to see some faces. And yesterday I also saw some stuff like innovate and don't imitate and stuff like that. But I think that we at Skirmshop are innovating all the time. Like every day we are busy with innovating new stuff, because that's what I like. That's what I want to do in Skirmshop. Because if I couldn't do that, then I was working as gardener or something.
Yeah, but
because this is what I want to do in Skirmshop.
People will remind the shitty decisions and not. You can do 100 good things.
But the question is, who made the decision? That's the question.
Yeah, we all do not know. I think that Kicking Mustang will announce some statements as well. So looking forward to hearing.
Yeah, but you know what the thing is. It doesn't matter what you watch on YouTube or whatever video on television. The thing is that a lot of footage will be cut, and only the best parts will be taken out, and only the best parts will be shown. That's all the time with television, with YouTube, and yeah, it's okay for me. I will let it rest. I will just go do what I do every day, and that's making this stuff. And taking care that my brother orders the right stuff. I will give him a list. This is what we need, and he orders the stuff, and the supplier sends it. It will come in our warehouse, and we sell it. So this is what we do all the time. And sometimes it's too busy to order. We need to do some other stuff, some stuff like cleaning the toilet or whatever. I just call some things, but you know, it's really hard to run a shop like this. It started really small and little.
Yeah,
but it's still little.
Imagine that. We all can imagine that, because even if you just sell something on eBay once, you have to pack it, you have to receive the money, you have to send it. Yeah. Of course. We all know that, and that it's pretty difficult to go on a high scale with that. Either way, I think that many people will remember what happened to yesterday.
Of course.
And hopefully it will not divide our community into camps, and we will.
I don't hope so, because
still, I hope we will still see more of your innovations, like the piston, like the Kraken hop-up unit, like something like that, like the barrels. And let's see where this goes.
Well, Saturday, I don't know what time. I need to post it on Instagram. Keep an eye out on this post, because Saturday I'm going live with 2 new pistons. One is like finished. I only need to do the packing, and I'm waiting for 1 cup from the factory, a piston cup. It's the SRS piston, and the other one is the VSR piston. Both have the same design, and this design I'm busy with from like 2019, when I first started to draw this piston. and I will show you the really basic sketch of my piston in my 3D program. That's where I started it, and you see how I built the concept and how it became right now, because right now it's a real product. And yeah, that's the thing I like, you know, just draw something and test it and 3D print it, or let it make in factory a sample, and then test it. And sometimes the testing takes so much time, because something like the SRS, it can be really easy, but it can also be really hard to get the right joules. And yeah, that's the hard part of the SRS. But I think I've nailed the design right now, because I've noticed on all the pistons, the piston cups were different. They were all have another diameter, and all the cylinders from different brands had also different diameters. And then I've been through all the Facebook groups, and I started to search for questions about the joule setups and what the problem was in the joule setup. So everyone I saw there on the Facebook page was posting every setup, the whole setup, but they don't or didn't post the cylinder. They just said, oh, I've got an edgy barrel, and I got a TNT barrel, or I got a maple leaf bucking, and I've got a max model hop up. But the cylinder, they didn't mention it, and that was strange for me, because the cylinder is like the most important part for making your joules. And then I was testing out different cylinders. I think I've made like 10 different cylinders with inner coating, outer coating, inner diameter, different diameters, and I was testing different cups from silicone and polyurethane. And then I've came to the conclusion that your cylinder is really important. And my goal was to just take the basic system with no upgrades, and then swap out the cylinder and check the joules with the silverback piston. And then I realized that it was shooting really good, you know. So I was like, okay, this silverback cup, that is really good, because I'm getting more joules than all the upgrade pistons. And that was kind of strange for me. So
Wesley,
I was going deep. Yeah.
You are drifting far away from the main topic today.
Yeah, but the thing what I was wanted to say is about new products and innovation. And you have just to watch the live stream on Saturday, and then I show you some innovation of my last designs.
Okay. Okay. Wesley, it was nice to have you here, but I guess we drifted way from our.
Yeah, but you know, it's. I think I do it with a purpose, because I don't like to talk about it. You know, it's happened. It's happened, and for me and my brother, we did everything we could do. At least that's what I think. So yeah, it's hard for me to talk about it, because I like what I do, and I do it with pleasure, and we just go on with what we're doing.
Okay.
So that's it. That's it.
Okay, Wesley. Have a nice evening then.
Yeah, invite someone else in your channel.
Yeah, we got plenty of questions and statements going on here. Maybe someone else wants to say something.
Yeah, of course, no problem.
Okay.
And don't make war.
No,
just
don't want to
keep the peace, and it doesn't make sense to make war.
Okay.
Just do whatever you want to do, and everything is fine.
Okay.
So I hope you guys have a good evening, and I wish you all a good weekend, and hope to see you again.
Okay, see you.
See you later.
So that's that. Hey, okay, we all know about future products of Skirmshop now. Maybe someone else wants to